What's good, everybody? Old Papa G here, and guess what? It's another day close to the Shadowlands, so we got 12 days left. So I figured this would be the perfect opportunity for me to do a class guide every day until it comes out. So there's 12 classes in the game, and there'll be 12 days left. So I felt like it was the perfect time to start doing this. I'm gonna open up with Rogue, but before I get into that, I just wanted to say I've been really appreciating everyone that's been liking my videos, watching my videos, subbing to my channel. I love going through the comments and talking to everybody. Appreciate everyone's feedback and everybody's support. I'm going to keep the content pouring out. So if you like my content and you sub to my channel, I just want to tell you I am greatly appreciative of this. So I just wanted to say that before we start. So the first thing that we're actually going to do today, the first class rather, is going to be Sub Rogue. I know that's a spec. I'll probably go over assassination a little bit, but we're mostly just going to cover the spec sub rogue and go over a full guide. We're going to cover a wide variety of different things. We're going to have a little bit of an overview. Then we're going to go over the race. We're going to go over the talent build, the PvP talents. Then we're going to go over picking your legendary ability, your covenant to pick out of the 4 options. Then we're going to go through the Soulbind and conduit tree and what to pick for all that. So now that we've went over what the video is going to be about, just keep in mind that every day is going to be a new class. Tomorrow I'm most likely going to do warrior, and yeah, that's about it. We're going to go through the basis of it, so let's jump into it. So I know it seems like we're going over a lot of different stuff, but I promise you it won't be that bad, and I'll do it as quickly as possible. So the first thing we're going to go over is picking the race. So for Alliance, the clear-cut option is Human, with the runner-up being Night Elf. Human's passive move, which is right there, Will to Survive, allows you to get out of any CC besides Shadow Duel right now. That's the only thing that can't be trinketed out of as quote-unquote some type of CC. So what this does is it's allowing you to get 2 damage trinkets rather than getting 1 PvP trinket for the CC. This is giving you increased damage or increased like beefiness, survival, anything like that. You know, there's one that increases your maximum health, so it's giving you more variety for your trinkets having this passive ability. Night Elf is also a solid choice with Shadow Mend. They actually were the preferred choice in BFA because Shadow Mend would like be the start off of your incoming burst, but right now Human is definitely the way to go. And now for Horde. So for Horde, there's just one clear-cut option, and that's going to be the Orc. Orc gives an ability with Blood Fury to slightly increase damage, and it gives the passive ability Hardiness, which you can see right there. What Hardiness does is it reduces stun duration by 20%. So this is by far your best choice. If you really don't like Orc, I would say the second best option to be is going to be Undead for their passive ability that's similar to Human, but instead of getting you out of all CC, which would include stuns, it only gets you out of sleeps, charms, and fear. Alright? So now that we did that, we're going to go over the talent build, and we're also going to go through the PvP talent as well. So, as I mentioned, we're going to go through the talents and the PvP talents. So, first up, this is exactly what the build is going to look like. This is the build that you prefer. I'm going to go over certain things that you could pick instead, but this right now, from all the pro players and everybody that is online for skill capped, and like I said, there's many different pro players, they live by this build for arena purposes. Alright, so that being said, let's jump into it. So the first thing that you pick is premeditation. So I'm going to read them to you. After entering stealth, your next shadow strike grants up to 10 seconds of slice and dice and generates 2 additional combo points if slice and dice is active. Obviously this is beautiful. Slice and dice increases your attack speed and you're getting additional combo points and you're hitting faster. So altogether, this is a great one. So next we have subterfuge. Your abilities that requiring stealth can still be used for 3 seconds after stealth breaks. This is huge for Shadow Strike, an extra hit of it because it does big damage, or getting off an extra cheap shot. So this is big. Also increases the duration of your Shadow Dance by 1 second. This is also a big deal because it that's the majority of your burst is from Shadow Dance. I've seen people doing Night Stalker as well. This is more situational. This is more for like every fight. So what Night Stalker does is while stealth or Shadow Dance is active, you move 20% faster and your abilities deal 12% more damage. This is a solid choice as well, but this right now is the better one for getting off an additional Shadow Strike or Cheap Shot. Next on the list we have Mark of Death. This is great. This was from BFA, and it's not changing. Mark the target, instantly generating 5 combo points, which is a big deal, and cooldown reset if the target dies within 1 minute. So this is huge. Next, we have elusiveness. Feint also reduces all damage you take from non-area of effect attacks by 30% for 5 seconds. This is a huge one. I also seen people doing Soothing Darkness, which you heal 3% of your maximum health every second while in Stealth or Shadow Dance. So that is another option that I've been seeing. Next, Prey on the Weak. Enemies disabled by your Cheap Shot or Kidney Shot take 10% increased damage from all sources. This one is a must. There's no other option. It's 100% this. This is a great ability. And for our final two, we got Dark Shadow. Shadow Dance now increases damage by 30%. Like I said, everything's all around Shadow Dance, Shadow Strike. This is really important, and 30% is huge. And lastly, Masters of Shadow. Gain 25 energy over 3 seconds when you enter Stealth or activate Shadow Dance. So like I said, all about Shadow Dance, all about Stealth. That's that. Now, we're going to go over the 3 PvP talents right now. So, first up, Cold Blood requires Stealth. When activated, your next Cheap Shot or Shadow Strike will deal up to 10% of the target's total health in shadow damage. So big damage. Now the final two, these 3, I've noticed that there is no other option. I know there's a lot of PvP talents, but I've seen everyone just sticking to these 3. Next, we have Smoke Bomb. This is excellent for reset and just stopping the fight for a couple seconds. Obviously, most people know this, but I'll read it. Creates a cloud of thick smoke in an 8-yard radius around the rogue for 5 seconds. Enemies are unable to target into it. So that's a big one. And now this one. This ability is everything. I'll read it first, and I'll explain why it's so great. You lock your target into a duel contained in the shadows, removing both of you from the eyes of onlookers for 6 seconds. Okay. This is the first reason why this one is such a big deal is, number one, you cannot trinket out of this. There's no trinketing out. You are stuck in this duel. Number two, if you time this right, you can stop an oncoming burst on whatever they're going to do or stop an incoming CC chain. You definitely need it for that. And lastly, if you're teamed with a hunter, again, this is no option. The hunter is the only exception that can see into the shadow duel if they have hunter's mark on the target. This is creating a 2-on-1 scenario and can just burst the target down. And another thing is, if the target is about to die, but you think they might pop a quick heal or a healer might heal them up, off heals coming, you do this and finish them off yourself. So this is why this one is so necessary. So now we went through the talents, and now we're going to get into the Soulbinds, legendary abilities, conduits, and things of that nature. So the first thing that we're going to go over is the Covenants, and the reason being is basically everything branches from the Covenant. If you had it in like a hierarchy, it would be Covenants on the top, and then followed by that, it would be the person that you pick for your Soulbind abilities, and then followed by that would be your conduits inside the Soulbind talent tree, okay? So for Rogue, the clear-cut choice is for Necrolord, and the main reason being is the ability Bone Spike, and then there's also a couple other additional things, and I'm going to get into all that right now. So here's the main reason why you pick Necrolord, which is, like I said, Bone Spike. Embed a Bone Spike in the target, dealing 60% of attack power, bleed damage every 3 seconds until they die. Deal 60% of attack damage, and generate 1 combo point per active Bone Spike. Refunds 1 charge when the target dies or is healed to full. This is so crucial for Rogue. You're getting additional combo point, and you're having a bleed effect on the target until they die. So this is huge. And now let's go over the other 2 main reasons. So the second move that you get is Fleshcraft, and the main Soulbind ability, which makes it so important, is Ultimate Form. So first ability we're going to go over is Fleshcraft. It forms a shield of flesh and bone over 4 seconds that absorbs damage equal to 20% of your maximum health for 2 minutes. If you do the channel move near a corpse, claim their essence and grow your shield to 50% of maximum health. That's a 30% increase. If they're down 1 man, you are good to go. And next is Ultimate Form. It goes hand in hand with Fleshcraft. This is your Soulbind ability, your main purpose one. While Fleshcraft channel, you are immune to CC. After channel ends, grant another 4 seconds of CC immunity. This is obviously huge for PvP. Everyone knows that. Okay, now that we went through that, we're going to go over your Soulbind tree, your conduits, and the person that you choose. So you're going to pick, for PvP purposes, you're going to pick Plague, Divisor, Marilith. For the ability that you get, which we just went over, which was Ultimate Form. And now, this is the tree. The way you do it is you're going to get a whole bunch of different options for the way for the abilities that you pick and the path that you choose. This is the correct path that you want, and I'm going to go over the abilities that you get from each one. So the first ability I'm going to go over is Recuperator, because it's a heal type move. It gives you passive self healing. So what it does is Slice and Dice heals you for up to 18% of your maximum health over 38 seconds. This is a big passive heal. You don't even have to really think much about it. And obviously Slice and Dice is great because there's other things in your talents that go with it. So it's really good to have. Next, we have Deeper Daggers. Avescrate and Shadow Vault increase your shadow damage dealt by 30% for 5 seconds. So obviously those moves are commonly used moves, so this will probably be procced a lot, giving you that additional damage. Next, we have Veins. Shadow Strike increases the damage of your next backstab by 30%, stacking up to 3 times. So you can almost increase this backstab damage by 100%. You can get it up to 90%. Backstab is one of your main moves to get your combo points, so this is definitely a crucial thing to have. Second to last ability is Quick Decisions. This reduces the cooldown and maximum range of Shadow Step by 12%. Obviously, get additional range is great because now you could keep up with targets that are getting a little bit further away from you if they have better mobility, because obviously some have better than others. And then you're reducing the cooldown as well, which is this is where your main burst comes from. So the more often you can use it, the better it is for a sub rogue. And the last thing we're going to go over, everybody, is your legendary item, which is Akari's Soul. I know if you read it from there, it said 100% of the damage it dealt. It's been nerfed as of recently, and it actually does 20% of the damage that was dealt, which, believe me, you could beef up your Shadow Strike to make that 20% really add up. So what it does is, after you Cheap Shot or Shadow Strike, the following 2 seconds, your opponent gets hit with an additional Shadow Strike for 20% effectiveness. So essentially 20% of the damage that you just dealt from the Shadow Strike to the target. So it's definitely really big burst, and you need this legendary ability. Okay, everybody, so that's it for today's video. The class guide for rogues, really for sub rogue. I really hope you guys will be informed about rogue. Obviously right now it's considered to be basically the best spec in the game, best class, whatever you want to call it. And even though it is the best, it does get a little technical, and you do need to have a little bit of a practice with it. So having all these abilities, having the correct talents and everything to help you get better is the best option. So if you guys have been enjoying my content, like I said earlier, I would greatly appreciate any sub to my channel. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in.